Hello and welcome. This is Diana and you are watching Holistic Vibes. This is going to be a second video for the sign of Scorpio. I hope you guys are doing well. Energy's been interesting. You could be having a lot of like ups and downs in your current reality. You could having like these bouts of like anger or frustration or like sorrow waves. And if you do, like, write out like what emotion it is, like what's controlling it, what's the thought form attached to it, and start doing that internal disassociation so that it's no longer like leading the way. Whenever I see this card, it reminds me, what is your Horcrux? What is the thing that is helping lead your way, and what is shielding you from what you're being exposed to, right? Because everything right now is coming into an alignment with divine will. And there could be this huge contemplation of the like, why would God put me through all of this negativity or this situation, or there was like a glitch that just happened in the video, which was interesting. But you could be like going through what is my actual purpose? Like, how do I get on my pathway? You know, at what point do I stop encountering all of these negative vibrations, right? And remember, your words have power. Like, I went out to coffee with a friend yesterday, and it was pretty mind-boggling because, you know, even in a description of the past or the roadblocks, there was this negative heaviness to it, like a frustration of the like, why not? Like, what has been happening? How is it overcome? And so like, and the thing is I really have been focusing on my words and how I'm speaking my next reality into existence, right? The energy that I'm pulling in, and being fully aware of that. So maybe you're also doing that at this point. And it could be really, interesting, right? Because as you're in a state of birthing this new cycle, of stepping into the honoring of the lessons that your divine feminine has taken on in this reality, like, it's hard to release or understand where entities has slipped into your field because of an old thought form that you've yet to deal with. Or what happens is, because this also was pointed out to me during a QHHT session with someone, is I can go in and I can clear all of your karmic contracts, right? But if you actively allow an entity to reactivate those contracts in which you cleared, for instance, say that you had an inability to stay committed and you activated that lustful spirit, like through pining over another person that is not your spouse, like you then reactivated that contract, and that allows that entity to slide in to your field and cause havoc, to fuck with your thought forms, to mess with your emotions, to change your frequency in the highest, best use for yourself, right? It plays with your energetic body. I don't know, that's for somebody out there. But again, knowledge is power. Like, once you understand, like, how you take control, you're trusting the Nigel. What is the Nigel feeling trying to tell you, right? Your feelings are essentially rehoning, like, what's been trying to get into your field, right? And once you gain into that knowledge, you no longer forget and you remember the steps, and you start continually changing and realigning to your highest and best use. It's kind of like you command the seas to part. Your voice has power, and there is a reason why the enemy has attempted to create that blockage so that you are not coming into self. It's time for you to birth a new age and understand that the vibration that you are cracking through, like whatever is happening in your reality, like you have to honor it and allow it to fully transmute so that you can then step into your purpose fully, right? And I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes that takes a while for you to lean into your guides, for you to lean in your ancestry, that you are leaning into the ascended masters that are currently walking with you. And no, like, a lot of people tend to think, oh, I'm special, my ancestors are with me and they were special. But if you are a true 33, like, your job is to transmute the negativity within your family, those old patterns of recognition, so that you can then step into your divine purpose. And you are truly gifted, and you do have a higher vibrational understanding of what needs to take place for this planet to evolve. That's part of the reason why you were planted here, right? When your soul chose to incarnate, it's because the frequencies of both of your parents are very gifted. They may be completely asleep, but they were supposed to awaken. And more than likely, I'd say probably like 98% of the time, they are indigos. And it's all about you understanding how to hone your frequency, hone your gifts, get your meditation clear and understanding, so that then you can truly align with the discernment that you have. Because once you become a sovereign being in a body, like, and you've connected to your truth, and that truth may change as you blossom, as you bloom, as you come into your own divine power, as you are allowing your voice to be heard, things will start shifting and will start changing, and the darkness is going to lift and you will become brighter, right? And I always say to everybody, like, if you are sleeping, there is a attack in the spiritual realm, in the etheric realm. And it's very important for you to put a pyramid of protected light around you. You can use whatever color your guides insist on you using. And like, through that protection, there still can be impediment, because you have to understand those entities that have been feeding on your energy, because that's what they've been doing. Good, bad, and different. When you watch a dark movie, when you are exposed to a vibration, if you've slept with somebody of a stature that has been feeding on your energy, they are going to come back knocking at your door. And the fact of the matter is the sooner you learn to do like Inception, and you pause and you close the door and you say, no, it's not this lifetime, you need to get out of my field, and you activate your guides and you activate your own path, like, then they have no problem, but they must dissipate into the nothingness, right? They can no longer access your gifts. And matter of fact, if you have been experienced that, where you've been waking up 3 or 4 times in the middle of the night, where you feel like your lower back has been in pain, where you feel like there are entities attached to you that are messing with you, just take a moment, put your feet on the ground, close your eyes, and just ground your energy into the earth. And as you pull the energy back up to your feet, through all of your chakra systems, out of your crown, just ask for God to clear any of those entity attachments. Ask for those cords to be fully dissipated and released. It's time for you to get on this next phase. And so honor what has been trying to keep you back, but create that split. Because it's really going to change, like, how the elders are speaking to you, how the frequencies of the earth are going to start helping you forge this new path. And it's through the connection of the cosmos and the connection of the earth that you then create this emanation out of your heart chakra, where you essentially turn into a Care Bear, right? And you start just pushing out the vibration that you're wanting to help transmute. And so the sooner you get on your alchemist kick, the sooner that you get on the plane where you are supposed to step into your divinity, like, and you understand that you are divine in this body, having a human experience, and you are destined for so much more than what you've been exposed to, because there's been this lack and limitation that has been put on the 33s, and it's time for you to truly like release that sheath that's been holding you bound, right? Unblocking your wings and allowing you to truly start saying, what will the universe create for me today? How will abundance find me? What joy can I spark in somebody who's struggling today? And as you start shifting to where your outer experience is more about the how you can help somebody, the desires will start coming into being at this rapid rate. And you're going to start feeling it. Like, for those of you that do not bathe every night, like, you really need to start like having the end of your day wash all that energy away. And it's really important for it to hit the top of your crown and allowing all of the energy just completely being transmuted by that water. And you set the intention, this water was going to clean me. This water is going to disconnect anything that's attached to my soul. Everything is going to start emanating. I am going to start aligning with the right path for me, right? So let's hit that. And just a heads up, the 10 of Pentacles is on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, there's something with this divine action that is coming in place that is going to be good news. It's about the fulfillment of whatever you've been wanting. And like, you've got to give space for the angels to really truly work in your heart center, to know that like what you truly divine in your heart. They just said leave these. So whatever has been keeping you in the state of betrayal, of loss, of grief, of despair, of heartbreak, and in this old thing where like your heart was locked, right? Where you felt like you couldn't go on, like you didn't know why or how come. And it's kind of like, even though there were delays, stagnation, like you still leaned onto the fact that like, what is my highest and best good will come to me. Like, victory and success will be mine. Karmic retribution for those entities that have essentially been impeding you, have been keeping you stuck in a state where you've had this internal chaos, right? Where you really feel like you're going nuts, where you're activated, your third eye is open, and then it closes. And then you come into gifts, and then you feel like you have no gifts. You feel like you're divinely connected to God, and then you feel like God is nowhere to be found. They're showing me this dichotomy of these scales balancing, in that there's this loneliness and this angst of sorrow that has been overwhelming your crown, right? It's been overwhelming your mental being. And so like, name it and claim it, right? And cause it for what it is. Maybe you need to look into Fehu. But like, figure out the like, and I don't have to reiterate the why or how you ended up the where you are, right? Because you know exactly your path. It's not for me to have to reiterate. Can we go down memory lane? We can. But the truth is like, the sooner you let all that shit go, the sooner you can get on to like what you're actually here to do. And I'm talking to the warriors. I'm talking to those that are just like me, or that are the equivalent to like the cherubim, the archangels. If you have 2 wings, if you have 4 wings, if you have 6 wings, like we are one, right? And so like, the understanding is that it's time for you to claim your freedom. It's time for you to step into the gifts that you are meant here to do, right? I'm also talking to some women out there that are in their older ages that were told that they would not have pregnancy. And I'm here to prophesize over you that you will have a miracle baby. That miracle baby will be a rainbow baby because you have done the work. And that baby will be an immaculate conception, but it will be with your husband, who is also going to be just as strong as an energy worker as you are. And so it's time for you to allow yourself the apathy for self and to fully understand that in this next phase, it's time for you to be flexible, for you to be the transmuter, for you to have a clear vision and understanding of like the what is coming, and to tap into your opportunity of foresight, right? And it could feel like there is this secrecy of what's coming. Like here's the thing, is you could be scared through whatever stubbornness you're holding on to. That comes from the Atlantean time. And here's the thing, is it's almost like it's a false narrative, in all honesty, you guys. That's kind of what they're telling me. It's you're believing a vision that somebody in a lower life path told you about your life. And I want to preach that out there for a minute, right? Because we look to people to be our teachers. But if you're looking at somebody who is just incarnated in their first incarnation and they think that this world is all peachy and they're accessing all these positive memories because they figured out how to get into the Akashic records as a kid, those are false narratives, right? Those probably are not even their thought forms because this is their first time on this planet. And so there's a reevaluation of the self through the mental body. And you have to look at who you're getting your information from, because the information you get is only good as the individual that's done the exploration that you need to do, right? And I only say this because it's like that's kind of what me and a guide have been uncovering over the last, I'd say, 2 weeks. I've held on to this guy's book. He was a physical being in a body, and he left his body in 2000, and it was really wild because I've had his books for like 9 years, and they've just been sitting on a shelf because whenever my guides say, hey, you need to buy this book, you need to buy this book, I'm constantly buying information and then reading it and then putting down my other books and then reading. I've got a hell of a library, and it's one of those things that like you don't understand. That signs are everywhere. Like we are all divinely connected to the guidance to help this earth evolve, again, is what they're saying. And so you may be interested in clear quartz, amethyst, lapis lazuli, jade, citrine, carnelian, and a smoky quartz. I personally love smoky quartz. I also have these Lemurian quartz that are pretty cool. This is considered like a doorway quartz, and I keep this on my desk for me to access the doorways. And so if you look at it, you can actually see like rainbow in it. You can see like the different variations and the codes that you get downloaded whenever you have a Lemurian quartz. If you hold it, you can actually gain access to these books, to these records, and that could be part of it, right? Because the Atlantean era also fell into that with the Lemurian. I don't know. There's something with that. They just said you need a posture that they want you during your meditations to start like working on. And it's going to help gain access in the crown. Because again, the mudras change the energetic frequency. So that is Aveyu mudra. And again, I'm not a expert in enunciation. I just kind of say what it is. And so it's essentially this, right? And allowing yourself to gain lightness, ease, appreciation. It directs the breath to the heart, the chest, and the ribs. And it assists the nerves and the respiratory system. Instills a sense of lightness and ease in the body and opens the subtle heart. And that's really important, right? Because you have to open your secondary heart so that you can then step into the vibration of love. If any of the old traumas that have been keeping you in a state of flux or keeping you in a state of limitation, like, honor it, but also ask, like, what can I do so that I do step into my heart-centered consciousness? What's a word of advice? That's it. You guys are funny. They're like, there you go. And sometimes that's the way it happens. It says, take pride in your excellent work. Practice makes perfect. Consider getting additional education and training. Reading more books. Dreams come true. Believe in yourself. In the end of a difficult situation, the star. It says, your worry is unnecessary. Focus your thoughts on the outcome you desire and release the feeling of regret, guilt, and worry to your angels, right? And like, let's identify any of you that are having a solar plexus block. Like, look at it and see, is there regret? Is there guilt? Is there worry that is living in there? And if so, command it to exit now. Remember, you are the highest being in a body having a human experience. There is a 100% chance that any of those entities or any of those demonic beings that are attempting to feed off of your energy do not have spiritual ranking within the divine. And so it's time for you to command your authority. And I once had somebody who, I went to an event and God put me there to identify the seraphim, anybody with 6 wings. We all have different purposes. We all have different paths, but it was literally to identify and say, hey, this is you. I know you. I see you. I plant the seed of enlightenment in you, right? And one of the guys was absolutely this badass, and he could move energy. I've never met a male who can move energy the way he moved energy. And he had just woken up and come online like less than 6 months before that. And what he was able to do and see in the body was absolutely miraculous. And he looked at me and he said, do you know who you are? And I was like, well, yeah. And he said, so then why are you allowing these entities to invade your space and to think that they're stronger than you? And I was like, whoa. And it took me looking at the reflection of me, because I see myself in every 33 I encompass, right? And it really made me rethink the path I was on and how I was allowing my fear to lead. And so, like, do that reassessment of like how these emotions that I've recapped in this reading have been changing the course of your pathway, have been manipulating your action the way you've been executing, right? Identify where you have had the internal dialogue that you must be alone or that you must work alone, because it's really important for us to start building community. It's really important for us to connect with each other so that we can really start stepping into our true mission. And so I'm going to leave this there. If something in this, oh, they just said get a Bible card. So I'm going to get one of these scripture cards. If it's not your jam, it's okay, but I would suggest like hearing it out, because there's power in these cards. And then if anything in this resonated with you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. because that's the only way the channel is going to grow. That's the only way that other 33s are going to actually see the messages, is by us like helping each other out, right? And comments are open. If there is a subject that you'd like for me to clear, or if there is a situation that you'd like to input in, you're welcome to. You're also welcome to email me directly. All the information is below. It says, enter through the narrow gate. For the wide gate and for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction. Many enter through it, but the small gate is narrow and the road leads to life, and only few find it. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and run over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. And it's hard for us, right? Because we can be looking for, I'm always giving, I'm always giving, I'm always giving, right? But in actuality, you're building your vortex. Lean into it's again, it's somebody said yesterday, it's about faith. It's about you leaning into the discernment of faith that you may not see it yet, but God is moving the puzzle pieces and the people in place so that you can step into your divine guidance. Stop letting the devil impede your thoughts and impede your body. Move your body, get in contact, allow yourself to be in sync with your highest and best good, and rely on that. Like, step into that. I'm going to leave that there. Okay. Until next time, be well and ciao.